At that moment, we can see the significant changes in a day-to-day life. For example, there is no health and education policy change and reform, not no reform in policy, education and health and many other economic situation is very bad at that moment. So we can see very clearly the significant changes we can feel at that moment. But there are some changes. There are some changes, for example, for the activists. So we are not now, we can say that it might be sure or not. I'm not quite sure that we are not under surveillance at that moment. And the most surest thing is that we can sleep very well at night because we got a sound sleep. During under military regime, we at midnight we always afraid to the knocking voice because at the midnight the military intelligence came to our house and knocked the door and got arrested. Most of the activists are got arrested like that. They never got arrested in the daytime. We got arrested in the midnight like that. So by knocking the door and took out. So like that. So but now we got very sound sleep and we are very happy to that new situation. And our friends and relatives are happily contact me at that moment. They don't afraid me anymore. And also we at least for example for the women case, so women voices, we can raise the voices of the women at that moment, so to be more louder. In the past we are not allowed to express the women issues in the media. So for example, if one of the journalists like to interview me about my visit or something like that, but there is a censorship board, so censorship board cancel the interview or something like that because they don't want the woman leader, because they are very, how can I say that, very bad-minded because Daw San Suu Kyi is woman. That's why they never give the favor to the women. All the other women also like that. So, but now we can raise our voice to be louder. We can do many our community work actively and openly, freely at that moment. And also, but I'm not very, I'm not pessimistic. I'm really optimistic for the new situation. So, but anyhow, we should take the advantages. If they give a small space, we will play and we will try to get wider space. It is because it is also, how can I say that, we need to try to get more space. So it's not only depends on Daw San Suu Kyi and President U Thein Sein. Our better future is depends on us, our civil society organization and our people. We should try together to be a better future in our country. Yeah, we can say that there are three big bodies: parliament, and military, and the new government. So at that time, the new government, there are some reform-minded people in the new government. They are very active and they try to change our country and our situation. They like to get the good image for their life. But we can't say exactly about the military. Military is very behind the scene. We cannot see that. And also parliament. Parliament is the speaker of the parliaments are very active. They try to engage Daw San Suu Kyi. They try to work together with Daw San Suu Kyi. But after the crackdown of the copper mine project, you may heard that copper mine project recently, there is a demonstrations in the copper mine project in Mong Yua, middle part of our country. So the crackdown is very severe. So, but we can estimate, how can I say, we can predict that the role of the military is a little bit upper hand or powerful because the crackdown is made by them. So very challenging at that time. And also Daw San Suu Kyi is playing with three bodies at that moment. She tried to persuade them to work together. But if she give favor to the parliament, and some of the other two groups very got upset. That's why she tried to balance these three bodies, and she plays very significant role among these three bodies at that moment.